Peace, everybody. Sweet Science Boxing Academy. We back with another video. All right, man. So it's a lot of talks about who Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be fighting next. Now, you got a lot of people talking about Isaac Big Boy Cruz because he's the one, as of late, who survived Gervonta Tank's onslaught. Because as of now, Tank, he's been on a knockout streak ever since he still was fighting in 4 to 6 round bouts. But Pitbull Cruz, he went the full distance. He went the full 12 rounds, and he actually put up a good fight. It wasn't like he just survived. It was the back and forth for tit for tat. Now Tank showed his boxing prowess in that fight, and he stuck and moved. And toward the end of the fight, he pulled it off just because his athleticism and his IQ. But Pitbull, he still gave him a good account of himself. So you had Calvin Ford, you had Kenny Ellis, and you got a whole lot of Tank fans and people in the boxing media saying that Tank could be possibly fighting Pitbull Cruz next. But you gotta look at the WBA rankings, because now that Tank is full-blown champion at the rankings, now he's obligated to fight all these guys within the top 10. So who you got in the rankings? Well, you got Pitbull Cruz number one, of course. But then number two, you got William Zepeda, another explosive fighter that can be a good for him. But you got Frank Martin as number three. And then you got Edwin De Los Santos, number four, who just lost to Shakur Stevenson in a lackluster fight. Both of them didn't really score any punches, but because of that, De Los Santos, he made the fight look real good because Shakur didn't really do anything. So a lot of people now is questioning how good Shakur really is. But then you got Jose Venezuela, number 6, Vasil Lomachenko, number 7, and then you got Shan Thompson, number 8. But out of all these people I just named, I think Frank Martin is the likely possible opponent that he'll face. Although they like the black versus Mexican fighters, but Tank been getting a lot of slack. And because people are saying that he don't like fighting black fighters, slick fighters, counter punches like him, that all he do is fight Mexicans and foreigners, people who just come forward, someone who's just tailor-made for him, I think they're going to switch it up and fight someone different. And Frank Martin, he's right up there. I think he's the best possible opponent. He's 18-0. He got 12 knockouts. So out of 18 fights, only 6 people survived with him. That's a pretty decent knockout ratio. Not great, but decent. And he's also southpaw. He's 28 years old, 5'8", with 68-inch arm reach. And of course, he trained with Derek James, and he signed under the Man Down promotions with Earl Spence. And he got that Derek James, Earl Spence, Jamel Charlo methodical style, where you jab, 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 come forward, jab, hook. And he just stayed real consistent in his approach. And he's a little crafty. He's not just robotic. He can move when he wants to. So I think this will be a good fight for Tank. Because if Tank get that fight, then he can show Shakur Stevenson how it's really done. Because y'all remember Shakur and Frank Martin was in negotiations to fight. But Frank Martin pulled out the fight saying that all the negotiations was against him. He wasn't getting paid enough and everything. So he said that he wasn't comfortable with taking that fight. But I'm sure if he got an offer from Tank, especially the type of money that they making in them Tank fights, I think he would take that fight. Now, as far as him winning, I don't think he will win. I think he'll put up a good account of himself for as long as it lasts. But I got Tank knocking him out between the 7th and 9th round. I don't even think it will go to championship rounds. I could be wrong. Like, I know this sounds like I'm just disrespecting Frank, because he is a good fighter, but styles make fights. And that jab, jab, 1-2 style, like, is tailor-made for a fighter like Tank. It would be kind of like how Earl Spence was with Terrence Crawford. It's just a one-dimensional style fighter versus a versatile fighter. And eventually, that versatile fighter is going to pick them apart. So if they do end up fighting, I think Frank going to get knocked out in the end. But I think for like the first 5 to 6 rounds, I think it'll be real interesting. I think Frank gonna have Tank on his toes. I think he gonna have him thinking, and I think Frank gonna test Tank's chin. I think he gonna catch him with a couple of clean shots, and I think Tank gonna show that he do got a chin, because Tank, he got hit pretty clean from a couple people. He got hit clean from Rolly, who's a good puncher, and he still stood his ground and boxed him until he got him out of there. But the way I think Frank would do it, I think it would be totally different what Rolly would do, and I think he'll catch Tank with more clean and precise shots. But I also think that it'll wake Tank up, and he gonna realize like, all right, this dude not playing. I gotta get him out of there. And I think he just gonna end up breaking him down from that point on. Now this is boxing. I could be wrong, but this is what I foresee if it ever happens. But that's what it is. Frank Martin, he is the number 3 in the WBA. And like I said, Pitbull Cruz may not happen, and I don't think he's gonna fight William Zepeda. So Frank Martin is the next available opponent and the best available opponent, being as though that he's signed with Earl Spence and he's undefeated. So I don't know. We just gonna have to wait and see. But that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Drop y'all comments down below. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.